This is Dr. Katie Mordina with Rutgers Executive Education, and I'm talking with Kristin Phillippi, who is the Manufacturing Engineering Manager at GGB NA. Kristin, how is your story? What did you do? How did you get to where you are? What was your interest and your background?
All right. So when I go all the way back to high school, I always had an interest in science and math courses. And finding out a little bit about engineering, I decided that it was the right path for me. And I decided to pursue a degree in chemical engineering. However, throughout the course of my school and through different internships, I realized that it wasn't really chemical engineering that I was passionate about, but more so manufacturing and materials. I was able to use this to start my career at Lenox China and work with ceramics. And after the facility that I was working at closed, I found a job here at GGB where I get to work with polymers and metals. So that path of working with both materials in a manufacturing environment seemed like the right fit for me, and I've been doing it now for almost 20 years.
That's great. You also have some business background too, don't you?
Yes. So while I was at Lenox, shortly after I started there, when I graduated in 2001, I began pursuing my MBA at Rutgers Camden. I was able to complete that while working full time and going to school part time. In 2005, I received my MBA with a concentration in marketing.
That's fantastic. So when you decided to go through the Lean Six Sigma program, we've talked about some of the elements, but how much time did it take? What kind of draw was it? And how do you balance that with your family life?
That's a great question. So it was an interesting path for me. When I started pursuing my Black Belt, I was working as a process engineer. But shortly before the training commenced, I got promoted to manufacturing engineering manager. So this was a lot of work for me. I was actually started doing this before I was able to backfill my own position. Balancing that with my two young children, it certainly was a lot. And the 40 hours of classwork outside the in-class training was a lot to manage at first too. But of course, I'm completely glad that I did it. When I started this, I thought that this would put me on the path to increase my technical abilities as an individual contributor at my company. I wasn't expecting to have the certification as a manager, which has me a little bit further removed from the process. However, personal development and talent development is really one of my passions, and being able to use that and help to coach and guide the new wave of engineers that we have coming through GGB has really been a pleasure for me to help to use my skills to help to increase theirs.
It sounds like you're able to share that knowledge with them, with the people who are coming up through the organization. How do you do that? What are some of the ways you do that?
Having a few of those engineers on my project helped to expose them to that. But really, it's day to day and the coaching and the mentoring, looking for the opportunities that we see in our organization and helping the people, the engineers working on those problems to make sure that they're using the correct methods to problem solve. Too often I see people jumping to conclusions, or as we like to say, putting a Band-Aid on the problem, but really driving back to root cause analysis at every chance. It helps us to find the correct root cause and make sure that we don't come up with the same problem again.
Great. So when you think about your experiences going through this program and the application you've been able to make, would you be comfortable recommending Rutgers to colleagues or to other people in your industry?
Absolutely. And I have already done that as well.